Welcome to the Just Josh podcast.
Who the fuck is this guy? Hey, who the fuck are you? Huh? Who the fuck are you?
This whole thing's a little weird.
Never you fear, laddie buck.
Tough intro.
Yeah, it's tough, dude.
That's
That's like fucking POD.
Yeah, like 90. Dude, it gets even heavier too. But I figured like you need a good like 15 seconds.
Is that you? Who did that?
No, so some of it's me, and then some of it's like from YouTube. But hold on, ready? It gets heavy too.
Yeah.
it's almost like a heavy 311 song that's tuned down a little bit.
Yeah. Fucking 311 or 311.
311.
It's almost
311.
It's almost on the verge of being like butt rock.
A little bit. Yeah.
This guy's
Almost.
It has new metal vibes for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What's going on,
Dude,
what's up, man?
a bunch of nothing.
Thank you for coming on and doing my podcast.
Dude,
really
I appreciate you reaching out and asking me to do it
Yeah.
because it's been a real slow couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course.
What'd you do this week? I saw you going hiking and shit, right? Did you go a little hiking?
That was a couple weeks ago. The weather's starting to turn.
You've been catching the Pokemon on that Twitch.
We watched your
man.
Twitch stream.
I know. I saw you followed me. I appreciate that, dude.
Dude, I only made a Twitch account just to follow you.
Yeah, and
I refuse to follow anyone else.
We were hanging out, and I saw your story. So the stories were.
Ah.
I saw a story. I was like, oh shit, Nick is probably live on Twitch right now. So I was like, pull it up.
Hell yeah.
And
I
then,
kind of want to expand it more too. Like I want to do
it.
Like I've watched people, like for instance, this drummer, he'll have people that just be like, they'll donate and be like, play this song, and he'll just listen to it, and then he'll just start playing along to it. You know,
that's a great idea.
And
yeah. You need to be able to have us comment.
Yeah, no, I don't understand why you couldn't because today I was twitching, streaming this. I was twitching. I was streaming this morning on Twitch, and I was talking. I had fucking 10 viewers. And they were all talking in the chat. And we were talking bass gear. We were talking about a bunch of stuff.
So there's a chat on your Twitch, or is it on that specific video?
No, it's on the Twitch.
Oh,
like,
okay.
If you're watching me live, you should be able to just type in the chat.
That's what I thought. Like YouTube, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, just like YouTube.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out. I don't know.
So
Next time.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude. But what I'm doing on the Pokemon is this thing is called the Nuzlocke Challenge.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, oh, he's doing some sort of challenge. I never heard of that. I heard of a bunch of different challenges.
Yeah, so my brother actually told me about it because he was watching this guy do it with extra stuff added to it. But it's basically, so when in the beginning of the game, depending on your trainer ID, that's who you pick. So if the last digit is 1 to 3, you get the grass type. If it's fucking 4 to 6, you get the water type. And so on.
Is the trainer ID like random every time?
It's random every time.
Oh, okay.
So then you pick that one Pokemon, all right? So then the thing that makes it hard, another cute thing is that you have to name every Pokemon too.
Okay.
So it's usually you never name them.
Naturally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that makes it hard is that the first Pokemon that you encounter in every area is the only one that you can catch. And if you make it faint, you can't catch anybody from that area.
Interesting.
And then if one of your Pokemon faint, you have to release it.
Tough.
Yeah.
When you say area, is it like
so if you go to
the map
all right,
changed?
I popped into Route 1.
Gotcha.
First motherfucker I ran to was a Pidgey. I can either catch that Pidgey, and if I fight it and it faints, I can't catch anybody from that area, and I have to move on to the next area to catch another Pokemon. So like my team right now is a bunch of people that I normally wouldn't pick.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of off balanced.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And it makes it harder. Also, you can't let anybody faint or you got to release them. And that makes it even harder too, especially if you have like a bunch of dudes, like especially in the older versions, like you usually play 1 or 2 characters, usually your starter and maybe another one.
Yeah.
So now you have to like evenly train them out so that they're
personally, I always took that strategy to evenly train them out or whatever, and then train the types that I need for whatever area that I'm in or whatever.
See, you get a good head on your shoulders.
Yeah. I like the grind. That's why I love Final Fantasy so much. Because it's nothing but grinding, dude.
It's all
like,
grind.
Okay, I can probably if I just grind in this area for 3 hours, I can get all my characters up another like 4 or 5 levels. This should be good. You get a bunch of money. It feels good to grind, you know.
Plus I love it because I've recently been playing a lot of fucking competitive shit like Warzone, and Rogue Company, and a bunch of like these competitive first-person shooter games, and I'm playing with a bunch of my brother and all his friends that are really good at it.
Yeah, I just played I played the
I fucking
multiplayer
suck.
Call of Duty with my buddy, but he's not into Warzone, so I don't really do Warzone, and like battle royales don't really do it for me. I hate the waiting in the lobby, and then you finally drop down into the map, and then you can like get killed in the first 30 seconds, and then you gotta
get good. You gotta get good.
I don't have time for that.
It takes a long time.
I don't
still suck at it too.
Excuses. I don't have the time to waste my life on video games.
I completely understand.
I like a good story-driven narrative, good single player.
Yeah, of course.
Give me some side quests. Ghost of Tsushima. That was sick.
Oh, that game
so
looks
good.
beautiful, man.
So good.
Made me want to buy a damn PlayStation just to play it, dude.
You should.
Well, for the gaming nerds in the house, I'm thinking about getting. I'll tell you my backstory first, and then I'll ask your opinion.
Let it rip, dude.
I love video games. I was always a sports guy, but I love video games growing up. I'm pretty sure we had Atari at one point. I had the first Nintendo. I actually have it right out there.
Nice.
I need to find an old TV that actually still plugs into it, or find a converter in order to play it on here. But I want to play it.
I just recently got the converter because I'm playing on a GameCube, Darb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'll get into that a little bit more, but they make a $20 adapter.
Oh, okay.
AV to HDMI.
Okay, so I can do it. It is possible. Yeah. So I have that, and then I had Super Nintendo, and then I got the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was my favorite freaking thing, but I got it late. Like, I got it maybe a year or two after it came out, and it was right when they started being able to, I guess the company didn't do a good job at, like...
Yeah, all the games I have for it are burned on a CD.
Right.
Not even on a DVD. It's a CD.
On a CD.
Yeah.
So they stopped making games, and it went obsolete in like a week.
Sega went out of business.
So I spent full price for the Dreamcast like 2 weeks before they stopped making games for it.
Yeah, but you can just burn every game. Also, if you're ever trying to fucking play that shit, the best game for Dreamcast is a game called Ikaruga. It was a Japan-only release. It is the most badass game. It is so fucking hard, though.
Is it better than Katamari Damacy? Do you remember that game?
No.
That was like
Is that for Dreamcast?
No, it was for PlayStation, but it was another one of the... It just, when you said Japanese only, that was another thing, where it's like, you're just this little pill guy, and you just roll this ball around and pick up shit.
Right.
and you can like, yeah.
Well, I had some
it was
like...
dumb, but it was so much fun.
I had like Game Gears and other like handheld ones too.
Yeah, dude, the Game Gear.
But then, so I had a bad experience with Dreamcast, and I didn't get another one until Xbox came out in college. And I was like, all right, I'll definitely get this.
The original Xbox came out?
I think
so. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe. It might have been the second one. It was the one that was prone to getting the 3 Rings of Death.
Oh, that's Xbox 360, my guy.
So I got the 360, and I got the 3 Rings of Death within 2 months. And then they wanted $100 for me to fix it. And I'm like, I just spent $400 on this. Like,
bro.
I'm not spending more money on this. You should just fix it for free.
I could see why you're...
Yeah, a little, like, out of the loop.
Yeah, but you got to understand, that shit doesn't happen anymore, dude.
That's what I figured. Yeah. So that was the last one I got. But now I'm excited because I want to get either the new PlayStation or the new Xbox. Which one should I get?
All right,
and I know it's an opinion kind of a thing, but...
All right, so I have an Xbox, but I have no preference because growing up, I had a PS2. Mm-hmm. The PS2 was the shit.
It was a workhorse.
It was a workhorse, yeah. And we had 20 of them, too, because Mom stepped on it one time. One time I got caught watching wrestling after I beat up my brother and I got grounded from it. And Mom ripped the entire entertainment center out of my room and she broke everything.
You were watching wrestling.
Yeah.
You got grounded. Not porn, wrestling. You got grounded.
Yeah, because I beat my brother. I was wrestling with Vinny and I broke the window.
Oh.
And then I got grounded and she's like, "You're no more of this wrestling shit. If I get you watching," she took all my wrestling games and everything, dude.
I need you to take a picture with this belt later and send it to your mom.
And
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I was watching Monday Night Raw. And I had the door cracked so I can hear her coming. And I heard her walking down the fucking hallway. And before I could get to the remote, she goes, "Are you watching wrestling back there?" And I'm like, "No!"
I swear.
And she came into the room before I could switch it over. And she literally, it was like a little fucking 2 shelves on wheels. And I had a big fat tube TV on top. And she ripped the whole thing out of the wall and tried to like take it out of the room. And everything fell off. She broke the PlayStation. The cable box was broken. And the TV was
Great, Ma. Now when I'm not grounded, you got to buy me another one.
Pretty
Thanks,
much.
Ma.
I could totally see her being like
So that's
that
how I got
badass too.
That's how I ended up with the PlayStation 2 Slim. Is because she broke the fat boy in that one. But I've like I said, I've had an Xbox One, and
I just like the controller better. It fits my hands.
The Xbox?
The Xbox, yeah.
the Xbox they just improved upon the PlayStation design though. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like it's always been that fat controller. I don't like the skinny one where there's like a million buttons.
Yeah. So here's the thing. In this current gen, the argument is that Sony has the better exclusives. And they do. You just said Ghost of Tsushima, that was a PlayStation exclusive.
Final
Fantasy, Death Stranding. I mean, you can go Zero Horizon Dawn. It was fucking Game of the Year 2 years ago. PlayStation exclusive, right? But Microsoft has more resources, and they know they're putting all their chips in this fucking basket for this one. They bought up 90% of the developers. Dude, they bought Capcom. Microsoft bought Capcom. That's Resident Evil. That's fucking Devil May Cry.
So basically now you can get all
Mega Man.
the games on Xbox as
so
well.
Eventually the
So
merger,
what I'm saying is that the thing that Sony had over Microsoft might not be the case anymore.
Right.
And then there's a couple of video game.
Now they have to actually focus on making a better console.
And the thing is that they're already out, and people are saying that the box is better.
Okay, good.
It's got better loading time.
Yeah, my friend
But they're
got
talking
one.
about seconds.
I heard it's
We're
fast.
talking about like a second difference loading time.
Right.
But I
it's a
mean,
big
when you're
difference.
talking about specs,
Your live game.
and you're paying that much for a console, that you could pay literally $100, $200, $300 more and build a PC that you won't have to replace, and you won't have to deal with the fucking console war bullshit.
That's true.
I always thought doing the PC builds are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
No.
More expensive than
Well,
a
yeah.
$400.
Well, I mean,
Cheaper than this though.
you can get a decent
Buy an
ass one,
Apple.
bro, for fucking $700, $800.
like a bare bones
Yeah.
kind of deal.
And the whole thing is that once you get your foot in the door, it's like, all right, well now
You can just always upgrade.
4 years down the road, you're like, I'm just gonna buy a new graphics card for $400 or $500,
Yeah, you just upgrade.
and like
Movement.
that's it. You know?
I might do that for my next computer. I've been an Apple loyalist just because it's so easy to like everything go through.
Yeah.
But
And I like that about Apple, but when you see what's under the hood and you can't change any of it out, and you paid that much money for just for a logo, it's like.
Well, I had the desktop,
Sick
and it was
logo.
great. It was a great desktop. Like, it literally did everything. I could do 4K editing, whatever.
Yeah.
I traded that, and I got the same specs, basically. 8 cores. Like, I got 64 megabytes of memory. Like, I'd spec'd it out.
Yeah.
Like, this cost $3,800.
See, and that's my thing, is that you could get that. You could build a PC with that specs
For, like,
for
what?
$1,500.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, I think I'm going to sell. The only reason I got it is to do the podcast, because I would have gone this whole year without doing one. But my goal was to upgrade to the Mac Silicone eventually when they start getting their own processors and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I have thought, because when I saw Howie built one for his son's birthday, I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Because then I can't.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on upgrade. At least for like a podcaster like Super Speed or like gaming.
Yeah.
I would still use my Mac for like other stuff. But like as far as editing or just having
So
Mac,
at first, what I wanted to do, and it seems like it's probably not going to happen, is I wanted to dual boot the PC build that I'm gonna.
you can do
So where you can
Windows and Mac.
either sharing the same hardware or have like 2 motherboards in the same build, and you basically turn the bitch on and it goes, which one you want,
Nice.
you know, and you can, and that's like having your cake and eating it
It's
too.
like having two moms, dude.
It's like
I
having
saw that.
What breakfast do you want?
It actually is exactly like having 2 moms. So, but I don't know, because I still the MacBook that I have now, it works for what I need music wise. All I needed to be able to do is to download from Dropbox a demo, play bass on Logic, record it, and then upload it back to Dropbox. I mean, the MacBook that I have, that's all I need it for. But I would love to have a way better Mac and be able to get, you know, a nice new interface, because I'm still using USB 2. Not that it really fucking matters, but like,
No. If you're only recording one channel at a time, you'll be all right.
yeah. I do want to get a
I
nicer
agree.
interface, but the whole thing with me is like, I'm not in the business of like wasting my time anymore. Like I mentioned earlier, I bought the SM7B, and I waited to buy that one because I didn't want to spend $100 on a mic and then be like, all right, I basically wasted $100 so I could have a mic but I'm
Oh,
still
that's
gonna
cheaper than 100.
I'm still gonna buy the SM7B. That's $500. So now I'm $600 in the hole when it comes to mics instead of just the 5.
Right.
So like, you know how much
Great mic
fucking
then.
booty ass bass gear I bought in my life, thinking, oh well, it's good enough. It's like, dude, you should have just bought the fucking thing you wanted up front.
Cry now is
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Cry now and fucking be happy that you did, instead of having a fucking pile of broken ass bass gear in your fucking bedroom that you can't sell because it's broken. So it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
Gigantic fucking paperweight, you know? So
when are you buying your SVT Pro?
oh, dude, we're out of that. I was
That's ages ago. That's the old Nick.
I had an SVT4 Pro. It broke. Fucking Ampeg shit's garbage, bro.
You think?
Unless you're buying a classic or you're buying like ones that were made when it was made in America. You know,
They
it's
sound
just
so
all made in
fashionable.
fucking China
That's what
in a factory.
That's what Will Kubley
Yeah.
uses.
Will Kubley uses a Mesa Boogie.
No.
Those
Yeah,
guys
no.
are in town.
SVT.
Do you know they're in town?
He had an SVT2 Pro, which was from the 90s, which is badass. But
When
the
we
last
tried to
couple
get it,
tours
that's
that
what
he
he had.
used it on,
Maybe
he said it
switched
fucking
it?
sucked. It was taking a shit on him,
Really?
like all Ampeg
sounded
shit does.
so good.
And then the last tour that we did, he was using a Mesa Boogie. And he has a distortion pedal that he uses, actually.
Yeah, the tours. I was
So-
on with him. They sounded so good.
Yeah.
His amp sounded so
Yeah, and he still has the same cab,
Yeah.
which is nothing wrong with the classic 4. I mean, the 810 fucking Mesa Boogie, or the Ampeg fridge.
Yeah.
But it was never deep enough for me.
So what are
Yeah.
you on now?
So right now I'm just using the dark glass pedals.
Yeah.
But I've actually
Oh, you got those. They sound
I've
nice,
been
huh?
fucking around.
and you don't use a cab on stage anymore.
No cabs
right?
anymore.
Yeah.
We were fucking around with putting bass and kick drum in the side fills though.
Side fills are the good move.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about bringing the U5 back into the mix to warm it up again.
Oh.
Yeah, cuz right now for the past year or even longer actually, there's 2 channels for bass and one of them is just empty. So, I'm just using the clean DI from the dark glass pedals, which is fine. But after we did this last Halloween stream, I listened back to it, and I was like, man, I wish it was a little bit fatter.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I already have the U5. It's kind of just been sitting here collecting
Yeah,
dust.
throw it
so
in. You can always have it just live off stage.
It
too,
does,
you know?
yeah. Because the guy who works with us for local stuff, Reese, he's been talking about getting what the fucking the Robert Neve. Am I saying that right? DI.
Neve?
Yeah. He's been thinking about getting one of those just for his gigs, and he's like, I want to use that for that so I have more to work with. And I was like, well, fuck, man, I'll just use the U5 again. It's just sitting in my room, you know.
Yeah.
So
Might as well throw it in
and
line.
I've been messing around with it at home, and because you have to compensate because it adds all that low end, so you have to like kind of pull back on the low end and then kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Finagle it.
Yeah, and one of those distortion pedals that I have, the X7, which is probably one of the best bass distortion pedals that ever existed.
Yeah.
It has a low pass on it. So basically the way it works is that it has lows and highs, and you can basically mess with it. It has a low comp and a low level, then it has a high level and then high drive. And then it has a low pass and a high pass filter like
Look on the outside.
you can go from 50 hertz to like 200. So you can make it really subby or you can make it like mid.
Yeah.
Like low, mid, heavy, and then on the other side with the high pass filter, you can either make it like almost like a fuzz, to like it sounds like a pushed SVT, and it gives you like that bright like gain tube driven attack kind of stuff, and then it has a 5-band EQ in the middle too, so that you can fuck
And that's
with
the
it.
dark glass?
That's a dark glass pedal,
Yeah,
and
that would be perfect for
so I use that for like the full on distortion, like for like the breakdown and riddled. I use that.
Yeah.
And then for like the punk stuff, I have the B7K, which is like a 2-channel Sans amp kind of stuff. So I use the clean for basically everything on that. That's the main preamp. And then it has a second channel, and I basically just dirty it up with a little bit of distortion that you can blend into it. So that, like, for instance, songs like what the fuck is the name of it? Oh, any of the punk songs that I would use a pick on, like Things We Don't Mean and stuff. Like to get that extra attack, like I would use that setting. And So yeah, so I have 3 channels, and then I have the dark glass compressor pedal too, which just evens up the whole thing. So like normally I've had the problem with like the lower strings, like the B, E, A, are super fat and like dominant in the mix, and then once I start like going up and noodling around, you can't fucking hear anything.
Yeah, it like, kind of loses the balls.
Yeah. Well, with that compressor pedal, it just makes everything just as loud as everything.
Yeah, when I was playing bass, I had like a Mark bass amp, and I had a rack compressor.
Yeah.
And I did that for that exact reason. And
my bass goes into that first, because the way it works in that chain is that we take the DI at the B7K, which is actually last in the chain, and but now it's going to be great because now we can take that line and then take the line from the U5, which is what we did before. But it was passive, so both weren't touched by each other. And now what I think I should do is I should just have the U5 that has the color from the pedals, and then just the pedals before it has the low
basically
end
before it hits your wireless pack.
So that he has like a low and a high bass that he can blend together instead of like a dry bass and then a wet bass. Like I prefer just low and high, because like it's hilarious now that for like over a year at this point, I've had like 3 songs that I've wanted to put out as an EP, and I've even reached out to people to do artwork and all that kind of stuff. And I was planning on, the main reason why I bought that SM7B is to do vocals, and Vicky's been home working from home this whole time, and I haven't had like a good place to record my own vocals.
Come here, dude. Come hang out and record.
But like, I want to say, like Christmas time last year, I went to my buddy Mike Stevie, who is an old drummer of mine, who's also recorded and engineered and all that kind of shit. Fucking Pineapple Grenade, Daydreams, and and Detonate. We went and recorded Detonate with him. I went to him and I was like, "Hey man, can you fucking like mix this shit up for me?" And at that time, it was just dry. I mean, shit from the Kemper, and I mean, it was decent tones, but it was like fucking default drum tones and stuff. He fucking put all these dope ass drum tones on it, remapped out the drums too, because like there's fills in there that like a guitar player writes. And he's a drummer, so he's like, "Dude, that's impossible. You can never play that on the drums. Like, this is how you would do it." And he like fixed stuff like that. And
that's awesome.
And he's
a great producer.
That's how he was doing the bass.
Yeah.
He split it into 2 channels. And then he made one like really low and one high, and he blended them together. And then I had Tom come over and fix a bunch of solo work with shit. So it's dope as fuck, dude. It's dope as fuck.
Do you have any? Can we play like
I have
clip?
it, yeah. I have
Can
it on
we play
my
like a 15-second clip?
I have it on my phone.
Can I plug your phone into here?
Yeah.
Is that cool? We can.
Yeah.
Is this a world premiere?
Yeah, I mean, only Tom, Mike, me, the guys in the band, and a couple of like friends have heard this.
Wow.
So
only on the Just Josh podcast can you listen to the Nick Lucera EP.
Yeah.
This is why I'm excited for Neuralink.
Oh, it's up here.
Because you'll be able to just think.
I almost declined it.
There we go.
If you had declined it,
here we go.
I would have gone.
Here we go. If you ever need a drummer, I know Donald's probably your first choice, but what do you think? I think it sounds better, but
It sounds a lot better.
Yeah. It's probably my Rode.
Is it like clipping in and out?
I think it might be. Is that
I like how you isolated it. So it's definitely the internet isn't playing it.
Hear that tapping bass, dog? That tone is sick.
Yeah, it is. Who did the bass? You?
Yeah.
Of course you.
Who else would do it? God, Robbie.
Thanks. Very protest.
I like it, dude.
Oh, you
is
gotta
this
let
the
it
best
ride,
part?
let it
yeah,
ride.
Sorry, is that the best part?
You like that, dude, don't you? And Tom played the nastiest solo over this. Totally improv. He's like, what are those chords you're playing?
I'll figure it out.
And that's the dirty chord. So one person's doing open and the other one's doing one. So it's like sounds wrong.
Oh. Something bad's about to happen.
All right, you fade it out right here. Fade it out right here. Fade it out. It gets better. It gets better, but
it gets lower and slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean like there's some nasty shit that comes after that too, but
Well, that's a teaser.
Very
though.
it sounded really good.
Yeah, it did. It did. It sounds fat.
What were we talking about before that though?
We're talking about bass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are talking about bass rigs, but did you start on bass or guitar?
Fuck no, dude.
Okay.
I wanted to be the singer.
Nice.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to be Chester Bennington so
Yeah.
fucking bad when I was a kid, dude.
Oh, rest in peace.
And I had a friend Brian that I met on the bus, and he was also into Linkin Park, and we would fucking play band, kind of like we would fucking. He had a mattress that was just on the floor. I remember we would like jump on the bed and like sing. He'd be fucking Mike Shinoda, and I'd be fucking Chester Bennington, and we trade off.
I feel like
And,
I dressed up as Mike Shinoda one year.
And then
red
he
hair.
introduced me to Tom, who did all the solo work right there, on the school bus. He lived right down the fucking street, and the three of us started a band.
On the
And-
school bus?
No,
Oh.
that's how I met him. Is that
Oh, okay, yeah.
Brian was friends with him and had met him on the school bus as well. And then Brian was basically like, "Yo, this is my friend Nick. This is Tom. This is Nick."
Band.
And then now, but then me and Tom became better friends. You know that situation.
Yeah.
And he's still
Third wheel.
He's like if I ever got married, it'd be my brother and then him as my best man. You know, like those are those dudes. And still talk to him all the time. You know, and that's basically how it started. And then Tom played guitar. Then Tom started showing me how to play guitar, right? And then we started hanging out with the older kids in the neighborhood who also played guitar, right? And then there was too many fucking cooks in the kitchen. And they were like, we got all of these fucking guitars. We ain't got nobody to play bass.
It's like Slipknot of guitars.
And I was like, well, I'll fucking play bass. You know, Tom's uncle Heba had a bass that just fucking collected dust
I
on
was
the...
just sitting there.
Yeah, so we were like, Uncle Heba, can we borrow the bass? He's like, shit, man, I don't give a fuck. So I remember we took it home to Tom's dad's house, who was 2 blocks the other direction, and that's where it all started, man. And we, my buddy Big Nick, so he was Big Nick, I was Little Nick, because if you ever saw this guy, I mean, he's Brock Lesnar shoulders, dude,
Nice.
and he did when we were like 13.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway,
He earned Big Nick.
Yeah.
I lift
Definitely.
heavy things.
Because I like to consider myself like a normal sized Nick,
Yeah.
but I'm just smaller than him.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, he had a band called Undying Will was the name of the band, and you know, it was like stuff from that era, like Blink-182 meets Slipknot, basically. And he was in that band with all these older dudes, right? And we started jamming with them, and basically me and Tom kind of got shoved out of the whole situation because we were still little jits.
The youngs, yeah.
Little jits. So me and Tom met Kyle in high school. Kyle had a class with Tom, and we started a band called The Last Star Falls. And it was me on bass and singing, Tom on guitar, and then Kyle Gomes, but we call him Kyle Gomez because he hated that shit. He's like, I'm not Mexican. Stop calling me Gomez. And me and Kyle were great friends too. And I still talk to him every so on, but you know, life happens and you lose touch with people. So we started that band. We played a couple shows here and there, but then Undying Will broke up because the drummer, I probably shouldn't get into this, but he ended up going to jail, and he's still in jail today.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then, like,
Something
we're talking
dark.
about something that happened when I was like 14, 15 years old. He's still in jail
Yikes.
15 years later. So So we'll not go into that. But anyway, so Undying Will breaks up and Last Star Falls is popping off. We got like 4 shows under our belt. You know, we got a demo CD that Tom's dad paid for.
Already? Nice.
Dude, and it's awful. And I still have a copy of it. The music's good. The music's good, but my talk singing, I was really into Thursday at the time.
Still a good band.
And if there's anything about Thursday that sticks out, Jeff Rickley is not a good singer.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They just needed to turn his ass down in the mix.
Love their music, but
Love their music, and they were such a stepping stone, an evolutionary stepping stone with music at that time. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like we wouldn't have bands like Under Oath if it wasn't for Thursday.
They were like
paved
a
that
good
way.
bridge. For
Yeah,
sure.
or even like Census Fail. Like that whole post-hardcore kind of sound. I know they weren't the ones that defined it or even carved out that sound, but they were popular enough to like spread that sound to people like Lil Jit Nick in fucking 9th grade. It was like fucking full collapse, war all the time. Even when my brother will start singing it, and he probably sings it better than Jeff did. So anyway, we ended up starting another band. So I'm sorry, Kyle. But I'm sorry, Tom. Me and Kyle left and started a band with Big Nick, and then my buddy Andre, who lived down the street, and then a couple new kids that I had met through the band. Keith, who I ended up being homies with for a long time, and then the Juice Man on the keys, who I still talk to every once in a while. Mostly just like his photos on Instagram, because that's what happens when you get older. You stop talking and you just like each other's photos.
But they're there. Whenever you want to reach out, they're there, which is a good feeling.
And I think that's the problem, is that you don't reach out because you just know that they're there. And
yeah.
I should really reach out to these people. I've been saying it for a while now.
I hope you do, and I hope this podcast spurred that.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. But anyway, we started this band called Primary Weapon.
That's a sweet name.
And we were fucking
sweet
hardcore.
name.
We were a fucking hardcore band.
Nice.
We would practice. We used to do. We won a battle of the bands, a huge battle of the bands in the area. Beat all of these huge bands out. We did this move where Nick threw the guitars, Story of the Year style, and while we did it, we did spin kicks, and caught the guitars, put the guitars on, and then I played the song on guitar, and he played it on bass. Nice. And since he was so much bigger than me, he would play like up here, and I'm playing it like down here, like Howie style. But we won the goddamn battle of the bands.
That's so sick. It was the guitar toss.
It was the guitar toss, yeah.
So
then, okay. It gets even better. All right? So Nick fucking leaves. Nick doesn't leave the band. Nick starts another band called My Fair Verona, which actually, like, he left the band. They actually went on Warped Tour a couple times, and they did for themselves. All right? And then what had happened is that played out, and then that band basically kicked Nick out. And in that time, we, me, Tom, so basically Nick left and we got Tom. So it was basically Primary Weapon, but with Tom.
Yeah.
Right? And we started growing up, and we had a house, or Kyle had a house, and they soundproofed the garage. And we would fucking smoke weed all day and fucking jam out in the garage. You know, and this is like when we got really into Hendrix and all that kind of shit. And in that time, Tom left. Tom's
left a lot,
Tom
I feel like.
had another band with Brian, our old friend Brian that introduced us. And Tommy Guns, another homie that we went to high school with who played drums. And Brian also played bass, by the way. So Tom left, and so then it was me, Keith, the Juice Man, and Kyle. And then we were really into Hendrix, and we played like this stoner metal kind of stuff. Juice fell off. He's more into weed and girls. And so there was just me, Keith, and Kyle left. All right? And
I lost track a long time ago of the members. But
Keith went to jail, and then it was just me and Kyle hanging out, and then Kyle went to jail, all for selling weed and stuff. By the way, this is
nothing horrible.
Nothing horrible. All right. So in that time, right as Kyle went to jail, Keith was getting out of jail, right? Hilarious, right? So when Keith got out of jail, I showed up at his house with my guitar, and I'm like, dude, let's jam, right? And we basically we were hanging out, jamming for a couple of days, and then Big Nick reached out.
Nice.
And he's like, Doug, I got this drummer, Mike Stevie. Y'all got to come through and hang out. So Mike Stevie was in this another band. I can't remember what the fuck they were called. Last Laugh or something like that. Nice. Punk band. They had a practice spot. Dude, we went to the practice spot after everybody had left, and we had like a jam session with Mike Stevie at his band's fucking... We totally poached them and borrowed their fucking jam units to do it, right? And then... so then we got our own storage unit, and we got Tom in on it. Tom was playing keys now. And because Nick played guitar and so we can't have 3 guitar players.
Can't have 3.
And then we found Greg Shields on MySpace and paid for his fucking Greyhound ticket from Gainesville to Port St. Lucie, which is like 3.5 hours.
MySpace.
Wow. And what year was this you found Greg?
2006, 2007, maybe.
Wow.
Because I was like 16 and Greg was like 24.
I was like in middle school.
So, and we started this band called Fillmore East.
I was 9. He was 20.
And it was named after...
I remember Greg playing me a Fillmore East song way back in the day.
And it was named after Jimi Hendrix Live at the Fillmore East, which was my favorite.
Nice.
Favorite.
Jimmy's definitely
Band of Gypsies,
my favorite
dude.
Guitars.
He played this song called Machine Gun. And it was like, dude, that is like metal, but it's psychedelic rock.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was pretty dope. And Greg is like such an amazing singer.
We used to do like a stoner metal version of this song.
Yeah.
And just jam on it. That's kind of shit I got brought up on. It's just like improv.
Mm-hmm.
Like to do the job as a bass player and just watch the guitar player. And when he's doing his thing, you just wait for the changes. You just look for him and wait for the changes, just like fucking Anchorman. It's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's an actual thing that you have to do, you know? And Greg and Mike left to go start this band called Shut Up and Dance. Stupid fucking band, right? So me...
That was the name.
Yeah, so me...
It was
Keith
2006.
and Tom found this other dude, Mike Jakes, who's one of the best drummers I've ever played with my whole life.
Shut up and dance.
And Mike Jakes screamed and played drums, and I screamed and played bass, and we started this band called Shut Up and Die.
Whoa.
And we were metal.
No bad blood, though.
No bad blood. We were metal as fuck, dude. And we would dress up like Shut Up and Dance. We would dress up in like fluorescent colors.
But you and Greg are still friends at the
me
time.
Me and Greg are still homies to this day.
Okay, good.
But we...
That's so hilarious.
Yeah, we were like we basically used that as fuel. We wanted to be the anti-band. So we wanted to go up there and look like we were that band, but be like a death metal band. And we were fucking...
That's so good.
I wish I had recordings of this shit because it was insane. But yeah, and then after that broke up, basically, me and Keith tried to keep it going with this other drummer, and it really didn't work out. But we were going up to Orlando to record with Mike and Greg. Because in that time... when Shut Up and Dance didn't pan out, Mike ended up becoming a recording engineer, he would do that back in the Fillmore days. We'd go to his house and record, and he still shows me how to do stuff to this day. And then Greg is a producer. So the two of them basically started like a studio situation, and me and Keith went up there and did a couple songs, which I have still. It's me screaming and Greg singing.
Nice.
Yeah. 2 songs, I think. Might be 1. And that led to me joining the Crazy Carls because our band basically dissolved. And I was like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm 21, been doing this since I was like 13. And I'm not trying to work at fucking Staples anymore. My life fucking sucks. I hate Staples. And, I'm at the point where like I either need to do something or I'm going to have to go to college or go to trade school or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Like real life is calling and this is what I want to do. And I've like exhausted every outlet that has been available to me my entire life. And it's either now or never. I literally just moved. I didn't even like tell my girlfriend. I like just moved to Orlando.
Peace.
And I moved in with Mike and Tom had I kind of left that out, but Tom left that Shut Up and Dance, Shut Up and Die band,
Jesus.
and he because Tom and
Tom
Mike
left again.
Mike and Greg got him hooked up with the supervillains.
Mm-hmm.
So he left because of a girl. All right, and that shit happens when you're growing up. But he left because of a girl, and he joined that band. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit, dude. I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving to Orlando, and I'm going to get paid playing for some band that I don't give a shit about the music. I just want to play bass for a living. And I did that for like 5 years, and I was literally about to quit, and I got a call from Greg saying, yo, you remember that band Ballyhoo? Yeah, well, they were talking about maybe they want you to come play bass for them.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
I went and tried out for the band, and a couple weeks later, I got a fucking call say, yo, we want you to fucking play for us. You got to move to Maryland.
That was actually my next question. That's pretty cool. Good segues.
Yeah.
Like going through all those different changes, Tom leaving like a million fucking times.
Yeah, I mean.
And then getting the call from Ballyhoo, was that different? Because you were young, 24?
I was 24
when you moved up here?
Like I said, I was just about to be like, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to move back in with my parents and go to fucking community college.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Like, it was a huge opportunity for me. Obviously, like, the Crazy Carls, my old band, had played with Ballyhoo. And I'm
pretty sure I've seen you play with Crazy Carls, and it might have even been opening for Ballyhoo or something else.
It happened many times.
No joke.
And Mike, like I said, recorded Daydreams, Pineapple Grenade, Detonate, and he did the EP too, the Cool Downs EP.
Mm-hmm.
He was blown away by JR. He's like, you got to see this fucking guy play the bass. And I actually still have this video. It's not on my phone. It's on my hard drive. It's a video of JR. Mike Stevie's taken the video, and JR shown me a technique, the hammer claw in the Instigator song, the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, which now I can do with my wiener if I done, you know, like Murderface from Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was so blown away by that technique and all that kind of stuff. He's like, you gotta learn how to play it like this. And yeah, so I had met the guys prior, even playing shows with them because I would go to the studio and hang out. And yeah, man. I mean, even still to this day, JR's number in my phone is under Bass God.
Nice.
You know,
I'm pretty sure JR was
He's
the one
so
that
good.
recommended you for the band. He was like, I think you guys should talk to Nick.
well,
He's like the guy from the Crazy Carls or whatever.
I know. It's still to this day, it's super flattering that he even considered me, you know. And how he was waiting on JR to finish all this shit, and he'd only done like 3 songs, and there was like a whole album that needed to be done. He's like, yo, I'll pay you this much if you fucking do it. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking Christmas time, and I need that money for gifts, motherfucker. Yeah. So, but after it was all said and done, I listened to it back, and I heard the songs that JR did. I was like, fuck, he still got it. Like, damn, that shit's
He
good.
still got it.
He could stop for like 5 years
yeah.
and just like,
Because every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, I'm playing drums.
Yeah. He's playing everything right now, I'm sure.
He's like, I'm playing with this group, and I'm just playing drums. I'm like,
yeah,
I like playing drums too, but
last time I
you're
hung out
such a
with him,
good player.
He said he was doing some trio thing, and he was playing drums, and it's like, that's cool, man.
It's like, do they know that you also play bass really well?
Yeah.
Like, how good is the
like,
bass player?
super well.
It's like, I'm drums though.
Yeah,
But I'm the drums.
I totally get it because I love to play drums too. Like I fucking
drums are fun.
love playing drums.
Me
And back in the
too.
day when we had the storage unit, I would go straight from work to the storage unit because I would have like an hour or two that I had it to myself, and I would just fucking play. We had like a little stick PA, and I would just blast fucking like brand new and stuff, so I could actually keep up with the drums because I've never was able to do the double bass shit very well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would just play drums loud as fuck, break my drummer sticks back when we didn't have any money to buy new ones and shit, you know? And yeah, I fucking love playing drums, man.
Yeah, I had a drum kit growing up, and I used to jam with my buddy. And I wasn't ever good, like ever really good. I could keep a beat, not do a good fill or anything.
But it's just so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Even if you suck, it's fun to play, you know? And
I wish my kit was set up. I'd just jam right now.
it's a sick kit, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I bought the 8-inch too for it, the extra 8-inch. So now I have a
What are you, Donald?
an 8P. Yeah, I know, right? But now you know what sucks. Donald's always one step ahead of me because he had. I'm a huge Coheed fan, and Eppard, is that who?
I don't
the
know.
drummer?
I don't know.
Josh Eppard. But he's left-handed, and I always thought that was dope. So he plays open hand, and he's just such a sick drummer that.
It's like the dude from Muse is left-handed, and it just looks weird.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, bro?
So Donald switched his over, I think, and he got
No, he
the
has like
floating.
his fucking
Doesn't he have
hi-hat in the middle. He's so
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, it's
I
just
mean,
easier
he's
to play
rocking.
open.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
like-
like I just feel like it opens your range to.
I'm
do
always like,
different
"How's it
things.
feel, D?" He's like, "Oh, it's great."
Yeah, no,
It's
dude,
prob-
it's
it's
awesome.
pro- strain on the shoulder.
I get it. And drums are all preference, but for me, like the hi-hat groove is like this.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at the
Yeah.
gym and I'm air drumming, I'm doing this. Looking like a fucking idiot. It's all in the wrist. You're playing with your wrists. It's like piano. It's all in the wrist. If you, in the Crazy Carls, the piano player, Mikey Dutch, is what we call him. I can't remember his actual last name.
Mikey
but We
Dutch.
call him Mikey Dutch. And he was a drummer first. And he's like, bro, piano is all percussive. It's all in the wrists.
That's actually the first instrument I started off on was piano, and I
Dude.
used to be super at reading music. They used to make me do recitals and like go.
That's awesome.
And take those tests.
Yeah.
It was like music theory tests. It
Yeah.
was-
See, I've never had a lesson in my entire life.
see, I wish though,
And
but I had ADD.
I wish that my parents would have fucking maybe learned piano or something as a kid.
I had a music
don't
theory
know.
class in high school.
Yeah, it's like I think to this day, that's
Skip
why
half of it.
Tom was so good at guitar, is because he took piano, learned how to play
yeah.
piano as a kid. Also, his dad played guitar, and his music was more surrounded in his environment. Like, where I
Piano.
feel like I got into music because it was like the anti my parents. Like it was like kind of
Yeah.
to rebel against them, and the music kind of defined like kind of who I was and how I felt at that time in my life and whatever. Even like I feel like to this day, like music is almost like a way to express yourself
Oh, yeah.
as a
No,
person.
yeah.
Like you right now, Josh, like with all those shirts behind you, like that's kind of like an expression of yourself. Like
Yeah.
these are like I enjoy these things, and they kind of like help define who I am almost. And
Yeah, and even this stuff.
because
You know,
even
it's
like
kinda
some people would
little
be like,
different
oh,
things about.
oh, Josh, well, he's like a rocker guy, right? Because he listens to Soulja.
Soulja.
It's like Soldiers of Jazz Army. Hopefully nobody hates on me for that shit.
Soja's a cool band, though.
I've definitely said it before that reggae is not my first genre.
Dude,
the
not at all.
podcast,
I
like-
wouldn't say it's my second genre or even my fifth.
And that's not a knock on reggae. It's just that I grew up with in the
Yeah.
90s. I love punk music. I love rock music. 90s were just some of the creative, like awesome times to be a kid.
I
Like
didn't really get into reggae until I was working in the scene.
I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the bands
Same here.
Howie liked are a lot of the bands that I like. Now we have some different tastes. I
No,
think
I-
there were certain things that
I
some
agree.
heavier music that because also like the 2000s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
See, and that's where I'm like 10 years younger than the guys. Like you said you're 36. I'm 30.
I'm right. I'm
so
right
we're
in the middle.
we're a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But like Howie and Scott are both 40. So there's definitely like a gap in like there's things that we agree on, and then there's things that we like massively disagree on. Like for instance, like me and Howie, the one thing that we will never butt heads on, the one thing that if we're both in the front seat of the van and either one of us is driving and we put this on, we're both gonna look to each other and go, hell yeah. Is Finch What It Is to Burn, that record.
Oh yeah.
Like, which is I love that
So
fucking
good.
record, dude. But I wanted to be the singer of that band for the longest time too.
Story of the Year was my jam, and I got to actually meet them
Yeah.
on the Warped cruise.
Yeah,
And
even their new
wow.
shit. I don't know. It was probably
Wolves.
2018. Yeah, it was
It's
good.
so good. You guys have been a 4-piece for a long time since the band, and then I think was the Halloween show the first time that you guys played as a 5-piece.
Aside from like having like guests and stuff on
Right.
stage, like
But, like,
doing
a full
horns
show.
and stuff. Yeah, dude.
Oh, you sounded great, man. It was
dude,
awesome.
Sebastian from St. Pete area in Florida, fucking shredder, man.
Yeah,
And
great.
we kind of like reached out on the internet. I don't know if you've ever
On
been
the
on that
interwebs?
internet, but
yeah, it's this new thing coming out.
yeah.
I wish I had an
Howie
AOL
kinda-
tone right now.
Because Howie's getting older, and he's been talking about he wants someone else to play the lead parts, and we have so many fucking songs, and it's just like, anyway.
It's
and
tough.
we've been talking about
It's
adding
tough.
like a horn section and here and there, and because Bumpin' Uglies did it, and they can't one up us. You can't let those motherfuckers.
If you need a
one-up us.
sax
Yeah.
player,
Yeah. So anyway, we kind of reached out, and people were like sending like video auditions of the band, and this dude Sebastian reached out, and I guess some other people in the scene, like I think Ted vouched for him. A couple other people were like,
I remember No Need. The Resonated guys.
and he
we
was in
did-
that band No Need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people were just like, yeah, Sebastian, he's the fucking man. And we flew him up.
Your impressions are always like South Park.
Yeah, we flew him up on a Monday, and we had practice Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday was a production day / practice day, and then Thursday we shot the fucking stream, and I was impressed. The guy, he did his job. He did his job really well. He's good at what he does. He's a great player, and he meshed well with the band. I found myself actually enjoying his company, talking about a lot of similar things. We're very close in age. So he's not in the fucking band though.
No, he's not in.
No.
He was there.
He was there.
We're acknowledging it.
But we were
the
talking
band is
about
the
it.
band, but
We were
you're
talking about it. Because
a lot of bands have touring
before
musicians.
fucking COVID came and fucking fucked everybody up, we were gonna have like the most successful summer of the band's entire career.
How cool was 2020 going to be before 2020?
Everyone was going to have a great summer.
It was gonna be gnarly, and we were gonna actually be on a bus. We were talking about doing a bus with the VIP kind of meet and greet things, because a lot of bands have been taking advantage of that and being it. Basically, what it does is it gives you that money to pay for the bus.
Yeah.
And having that, because we had a bus on Warped Tour. It was the only time we've done the bus for an entire tour.
Was that the blue one or like the light blue one?
And that was the first of all, doing Warped Tour, the entire Warped Tour, on a bus, on a main stage, not the main stage, but we were on like a respectable stage. We weren't on the fucking Full Sail tent. And playing side by side with bands that I listen to and love all the time, like Amorosa and Icy Stars, Wage War. I mean, there were so many fucking badass bands on that year, and to do the whole thing proper, and to do it with Greg too.
Yeah,
to do it with Greg, because we have that history, and our old band followed the Warped Tour.
Did either of you skate when you were younger?
Fuck yeah, I have scars on my shins to prove it.
Yeah.
Not really.
I had to choose between sports and skateboarding, but the biggest highlight of my week or day or whatever was getting the CCS magazine, the long little pamphlet, open that. And now that we had to switch so it won't do that anymore, I lost the CCS page, but they've gone all online. And I just remember, I think my first one was like a birdhouse. It was the Frogs.
Dude,
Frog
Bucky
skate
Lassick
deck.
Birdhouse. I mean, that's not my first board. I had like a fucking, what are they called? Nash boards. From
Where
Walmart.
was the one tail?
No, it was like a regular skateboard,
okay.
but the brand was Nash,
Right.
and it had fucking plastic trucks. If you had fucking plastic trucks and you were, dude, motherfuckers are pointing and laughing. Look at this mother. He's got Nashes. He got plastic trucks.
Did you rip though and be like, shut the fuck up?
I was not then, dude. Back then it was like, dude, I did an ollie. I got this fucking high. Holy shit. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, you did, bro.
Do you think, and I'm hoping, I always think music goes in cycles, and I've been wanting to work with like a heavier band or like a punk band, up and coming punk band.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like with everything going on in general too, and it's kind of like the perfect time for I think my music goes in cycles. So I'm hoping some more rock and punk and,
I mean,
stuff
honestly,
like that, or even
in my
heavier
opinion,
music comes back around, would be mainstream.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, music has changed since we were kids.
Or do you think
obviously.
because of technology, it's never going to be mainstream?
But, I mean, like fucking Machine Gun Kelly just put out a punk rock album.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Billie Eilish and Post Malone. They have a lot of like real drums and real guitar and stuff in there. Not only
but that's
their
not
live
like
performance,
punk.
but like
that's
actually,
not like Green Day, or that's not like Foo Fighters. That's what I mean. Like, is that style in me? I guess never.
I mean,
right?
It'll
Is
come
the
back.
question.
It'll always come back. I've even seen like pop punk come back, like recently, like that whole Newfound Glory, Blink-182 kind of stuff. It's like the next generation or two, like coming to age and discovering it. So that shit will always exist.
Yeah,
it's just we'll see it in fucking 20 years, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see like Screamo come back in 20 years.
Yeah.
We'll see another emo wave at some point, but it'll like show itself in like different forms.
Right. It'll never be that same 90s style.
It's like it's a kind of
iteration
like
of it.
obscure reference, but like, have you seen like Fila's come back recently? Like the shoes?
Yeah, kinda.
But it's
Yeah.
and they're similar to like how the Filas were in the 90s.
Or even Champion.
But they're
I was
different.
I was about to say he's
Or
been wearing
Champion.
I've been wearing Champion. I remember when Champion was the Walmart.
It was
of
a ghetto
sports.
brand.
It
My
was
dad
like
had a bunch of shitty ones that you wear when he would paint.
now they're
Now it's
$80 for a
it's
crew neck.
luxury.
It's like
It's just
crazy.
It just goes to show you that like I'm a
Crazy.
self-admitted brand whore. Even as a kid, I was like, I
Me
can't
too,
fucking wear
to a
that.
degree.
That's fucking knockoff brand. It's like even for the Halloween stream, I went out and bought a pair of white classic Vans, white on
Oh,
white.
that's dope.
and
White on white.
I was gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Target and get the fucking Bobo brand for $20.
Oh yeah, for the
But I was like, dude, I'm never gonna wear them again if I get the Bobos.
yeah.
But I'm gonna wear the white ones again,
Smart.
even if it's like a
Smart.
couple more times. I'm gonna get that $40 worth, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So goes back to my thing from before is I don't waste money on the fucking the shit I can afford right now.
Right.
I'm gonna either save up or just put that shit on credit.
Yeah.
Sweetwater, dude. You keep raising my limit, dude. I don't know what's going on.
Stop raising my limit because you know I'm going to spend it. Yeah, I did. Guitar Center did that to me. I paid it off and then I got
You know what
rid
I
of
do
it.
with Sweetwater? I did it recently, and the guy probably hated me. I ordered every dark glass pedal, and I was just like,
all of them.
because I wanted to buy a second B7K
Mhm.
for backup, just in case anything happened. Because Howie was having a lot of problems with his Kemper recently,
Mm.
Yeah.
and it just made me realize I was like, if this thing goes, that's the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
That's like I don't have anything else.
Yep.
So let me just get another fucking $400 pedal, just to keep it in the tech box, and if anything happens, I got it.
Mhm.
So I'm that guy that always has a fucking backup. I got 2 guitars, I got 2 bass preamps.
A, B, C,
Yeah.
and D.
Exactly. So I was like, but you know what? Before I dish out the money for it, because all of the other ones that I was looking at are the same price,
Mhm.
I was like, let me try this one. And I was like, you know what? Because that one came and I tried it and I wasn't really that happy with it. I was like, fuck it. I'm not just going to return this one and get another one. I was like, I'm going to order the other 4 that I haven't tried.
Mm-hmm.
Just ordered them all. And then ended up deciding that I just wanted the one that I already had. And I sent them all back.
Yeah.
But they have like that, I think it's 90 days. It's like you can literally order the fucking $50,000 guitar and be
Right.
like, I don't fucking like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send it back.
Dude, one of my
Yeah.
favorite guitars was the first Squire I ever got. It was the first guitar, electric guitar, and it played well. It,
Yeah,
obviously, but that's why I like super stoked to get the American.
Dude, it's nasty. It's like
Yeah.
one of the first things I said when I came in here. I was like, damn, that guitar is sick, bro.
It was like the perfect mix of pro, but I'm not a touring musician, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to spend like 10 grand on a guitar.
That finish too, man.
But
It
yeah,
is nice.
I just like the fat stock. It reminds me of the Jimi Hendrix guitar, so the fat or like a Prince guitar,
yeah.
but it's not heavy, so it's not going to fall over either.
Yeah.
Which was what we were talking about.
I always
before,
prefer
too.
the fat Strat too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gotta be the fat boy, dude. You can't have the single coils.
And this was actually a different color than I thought I was getting because there was another one that was seafoam, but it wasn't. I forget what this is called. What the finish was called? Satin.
It's
Satin finish.
dirty with that maple.
But dude, the
Dude.
satin finish. Was
I'm a sucker for a maple
stoked.
fretboard, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
I like the way.
I-
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the rosewood is nice, but
Mhm.
dude, the maple.
Yeah.
Get that real clean tone.
Dude, if you
Crispy.
Crisp.
if you could form a band around any fictional musician, who would it be?
Fictional?
Yeah, like from a movie or something that's not a real musician, but they played one in a movie or a TV show or whatever. That's a hard question. That's why I sent out the advance because it's hard to think. I've been trying. I can't even answer it.
Dewey Cox the album, dude.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
a
a
good
good
one,
one.
too.
Or Chip Skylark from fucking Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh my god.
My shiny teeth and me, dude. You remember that, Darby? Dude, I say that shit all the time. I'm like, Chip Skylark, come on.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's
I remember.
That's-
him
I feel like there's some
What
good ones
about-
out there. I just can't think of it.
what about the Beats from Doug?
Oh,
You
you know
remember the Beats, dude? Come on.
Sounds familiar. I would need a refresher.
You guys are soft, bro. You don't know Doug Funny like that.
Yeah.
No, I remember Doug.
Yeah, but in the show there was the band that they all loved, the Beats.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
And
that.
it was like they were like a Beatles kind of band.
Wasn't it spelled
But-
B-E-E-T?
Yeah,
and
like-
they,
Yeah,
they had like
the
dressed up in like
the beets,
beets.
like the vegetable.
that you eat.
And I remember the specific episode where they're calling into the radio station to get tickets to the show, And the radio host is like, all right, the question is, what is the name of the third Beats record?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And fucking Doug's like, he looks to fucking Skeeter and he's like, beats me. And he's like, you fucking got it, man.
I miss 90s cartoons and like
I mean,
Nickelodeon
he didn't
and
swear
shit.
like that.
Yeah.
My favorite as a kid was Dexter's Lab.
I
That was
love
a good
Dexter's
one,
Lab.
too.
And when they came out with Jimmy Neutron, I was like, that's just a fucking rip off of Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
So I never liked Neutron with his big ass fucking forehead.
There were certain cartoons my parents
I
didn't
like
want
the
me
Jimmy
watching.
Neutron movie. I remember
was tight.
liking that.
That was
I
tight.
remember they go into space and I'm like, how are they breathing?
Yeah.
Like, I know you can't breathe in space.
You know what else is good that I love? Rocco.
Yeah,
was
Rocko's
sick.
Modern Life.
The Angry Beavers.
Didn't they do a reboot of Rocco?
There was on Netflix. It was like a movie. It was good.
Hmm.
The Angry Beavers was tight. And I mean, obviously, Hey Arnold and
Right.
All Real Monsters, but Invader Zim.
Yes.
I got Zim
Invader
tattooed
Zim
on
was
me
fast.
right here, dog.
Yes.
Right here.
Dude,
Is that one new? Or no?
No, I drew that.
did you
actually.
see
I
my
did.
post? I'm trying to find an aggro crag
I love your
that I
Faye
can put
Valentine, too.
on the
Which
table.
one?
The Faye
Oh, Faye Valentine?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Frankie, the dude who does my tats up here, put that the Space Cowboy in there.
Speaking of tats, I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow.
Dude, you have so many tats.
Well, I'm getting this one finished.
Nice. Yeah, I just got the rose recently right here. Kind of. I almost got the sleeve. Almost.
It's basically there, dude.
I mean, it's there, but like, there's still
Yeah.
like real estate, like the
Yeah.
ditch. Do you have your ditch done?
Dude, I
Here?
see. I don't do the you and Alex
Or
get
the elbow?
You and Alex get smaller ones and then combine them all together.
Yeah, I mean,
Mine's one piece,
yeah.
but I did it on purpose. Now this one's
I've
like
seen it before. I'm
three
asking,
different
do you have the
pieces.
ditch done? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, how was that?
It's not horrible. I mean, I didn't get the whole thing,
Ooh.
but that's right over.
What about
it,
on this
dude.
side? Do you have it on the ditch as well?
Do I? Yeah, I do. Whole ditch, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And
And
the elbow.
How was the bow, dude?
Dude, the bow sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard because you have to hold it like this.
Yeah. You know what hurt was the Godzilla right here on my wrist, where all those
Yeah.
veins are right there. That shit hurt.
So I thought my chest was gonna hurt, but I actually ended up falling asleep. He woke me up like 4 hours
Really?
later. He's like, "You're done." I'm like,
You know what I
"I'm
heard? Is
done."
the back
I'm like-
hurts. I heard that the back is bad.
That-
Or the stomach. Imagine getting your fucking stomach blasted right in your skin, Mike.
Dude, I
That'd be
have
nasty.
my stomach done,
You're gnarly, bro.
but I
They,
need
like,
to get
clench
it
your abs
covered.
the whole time, just like
Dude.
Mm.
I remember one dude that went to a show one time. It's like, it just feels like you got to pee for the entire time they're doing it. I was like, that's a weird.
That's a weird, yeah, that's
way to
weird.
describe
Never
it.
felt that. It depends on the thing. And the ones I always thought were going to hurt the most ended up not hurting. And the ones I
Yeah.
didn't think were going to hurt ended up like when she did behind or like the back of my calf,
Yeah, my leg. Everything on
Dude,
my leg hurt.
it felt like she was doing it right in the back of my knee.
It just
like,
feels
on
like
the-
your skin.
but it
is, like,
wasn't. It was
so
like down
tight.
here.
It feels like your skin is so tight on your leg.
I think I'm fat enough that tomorrow it's really not going to make a difference.
What
What
you
sucks is
getting?
if I work out and stuff and I get big again, then I'm like, it's going to stretch.
What are you gonna get?
So he's finishing it. I have the turtle.
Turtle.
Have you seen the turtle?
Yeah.
With the surfboard and,
I
the,
have,
and
yeah.
the wave. And then the top, we never got to finish the sunset.
Oh, I do remember you saying that. Like, there was a bunch of work that still needed to be done
Mhm.
on it.
Yeah. It just,
Is it the same guy?
so Trey Price, his guy, Casey Anderson, had a place over up in Aberdeen.
Okay.
And but now he has his own place up in PA.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I'm going up there and he does sick work, dude. I mean, he does a lot of like rock stuff. He's in ZFL. Have you heard them? The metal band?
yeah, Donald showed me him.
Yeah. So he's in that
They're
band.
like they're all right. They
They're
got
all
some
right.
riffs.
ZFL,
Yeah.
I've never
They're like a local band, but
Mhm.
they got like Lamb of God feel.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Super nice dude,
Donald's
too.
homies with one of the guys in the band, and we listened to some of their music. He's like, "Yo, you gotta check out my buddy's band." I was like, "Put it on, dude." It was cool.
Yeah. So so what am I getting, right?
Yeah. What are you getting?
Finishing the sunset, and then I'm doing Aztec Pyramid.
Ooh.
I want to
gnarly.
do my back. I think I'm gonna save for like
Dude, these motherfuckers
like
keep
an alien.
texting me about fucking 311, dude. Who cares?
The one
Josh
time I
cares.
don't. No, I was gonna say the one time I don't want to talk about 311.
Yeah.
I told him I had gotten posters because I was really into 311 for a good 5 years, like super fan into 311.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like there was some fan drama. It just seemed like a lot of like petty stuff going. So I kind of fell out of it.
Mhm.
Now I enjoy their live music and I can appreciate the music, but I'm not going to every single show. You know what I mean? But I got all these posters. I ended up selling them for a lot of money. And it was like, it was just regular show posters.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
So thank you, 311. And it wasn't like I was ripping anyone off. They're the ones that hit me up about it. And I was just giving wholesale because I was just like, materialistic things, you know.
I mean, people
like,
pay for that shit. If I love the band and I wanted it enough, I'd pay decent money for it. So.
The big one I have is the turtle. It's so rare that people are like,
it's a 311 turtle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the poster. The
turtle. The posters.
Turtle
right,
poster.
Right.
Turtle.
So we talked a little bit about wrestling, and everyone knows it's kind of like my guilty pleasure. I just got this belt, which is fucking awesome. This is the real fucking deal.
I know I picked it up earlier. It looks good on me.
It's
I bet it does.
It does. And I'm trying to get a wrestling ring. I think that I want to try.
What are you, me when I was fucking 12, bro?
No, but I
remember we went online and we printed out the fucking like they had like an instruction manual, quote unquote, that you could actually download from the internet. And like it had like the specs and like the supplies that you needed to put it together. And I remember one time we like actually printed it all out on my buddy Andre's mom's printer, like fucking 20 pages. I was like, Ma, I was like, we only need $200. I love the Hardy Boys. That was my shit back in the day.
Dude, Jeff still crushes it.
I wanted to be Jeff so bad.
He still crushes it. He's in like some major storylines right now.
I remember he was he left or got fired for some drugs or something.
Yeah, like alcohol.
And he was starting a band. This is like early internet era,
like 2003.
And I remember like I would on Kaza, I would always I would look up I can't remember the name of his stupid band name. But I would look it up like weekly to see if any of his music leaked. That's how like fucking much of a fan I was.
Dude, they were the best.
And but early on, before I discovered the Hardy Boys, I was a huge Jericho fan. The Y2J era. I love Break Down the Walls. Or however the fucking song goes. Dude, I love that shit, bro. And I'd get my brother in the fucking Walls of Jericho all the time. And yeah, my poor brother. That's probably why he gives me so much shit to this day. So I used to beat him up all the time. And it's one of those situations where they're like, don't beat up your brother. He might grow up to be bigger than you one day. And lo and behold, brother's fucking way fucking bigger than me. Dude, and he's always roughing me up every time I see him.
My 15-year-old nephew's got like 7 inches on me.
I remember, that's crazy, because I remember when he was like little.
Damn,
like his
7 inches.
Yeah,
that's funny, man.
I don't know if you want to admit that on air.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Dude, something on the road that is obvious is you're big into working out and stuff. Have you always been into working out? Is that something you've done over time in the sense of like, I know you played sports, right? You said?
A little bit. Like I played baseball until like middle school and then skateboarding, you know.
Was that like a mental, like is a lot of this working out too is like mental?
Well, I feel
like a nice mental release.
Yeah.
And also pushing yourself.
Well, first off, like growing up, I was a fan of wrestling. I was a fan of Dragon Ball Z. So like,
yeah,
I don't know, like a ripped male physique is always like, for instance, like every time I get a tattoo, I feel more complete because I envision myself like having tattoos, like my self-image.
Yeah.
I want to be like Ollie Sykes and just be like, no, not neck tattoos or anything like that. But I've always just envisioned myself like having tattoos. And a part of my self-image is always being in shape. And I remember when I first moved to Orlando, I'd hooked up with this girl and she was kind of like clowning on my little gut that I had. And those of you who know
body shaming,
the singer of the Crazy Carls, my old band, is one of those dudes that's like notorious for taking his shirt off when playing and stuff. He was always jacked though. You know, you can't hate on him.
He's not like Bert Kirshner.
You can't hate on him because he was always in good shape. And I remember one day just kind of being like, hey man, like I've been thinking about starting to go into the gym. Like he's like, well, dude, I go to fucking Planet Fitness. You should come with me. And I actually found it the other day. I was going through some old shit to put these Halloween decorations for the live stream that we got. I was like, oh, I guess I'll take the big pumpkins. Right? And I was like, where the fuck am I going to put these pumpkins? And I was cleaning out some shit. And I found the original form for the Planet Fitness. It was 2012.
Damn.
Nice.
And no, 2011, excuse me.
Still on paper.
And I was like, damn, I've had a fucking membership at Planet Fitness for 9 years. you know, and yeah, and now that you mentioned it on tour, it's like especially we're not on a bus on the regular as a band. I feel like a very healthy thing to do is to make sure that you have some me time on tour, whether it's going for a walk around the corner by yourself or going and eating dinner by yourself or whatever. There's a couple times on tour that I went and saw a movie by myself. Nobody else wanted to go on a day off. I was like, fuck, well, see ya. You know? And I feel like the gym is my fucking me time. I get up early in the morning, and if we're lucky enough to stay at a hotel that has a nice gym, I'll get up and do that. Or I'll fucking get up at 6 a.m. and I'll take the van to fucking Planet Fitness, go work out for 2 hours, and come back and take a shower so I can make van call at fucking 9 a.m. Yeah. You know? But I also have the luxury of going back to bed after that for fucking however long the drive is.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of mind over matter. But like, I don't know, man. I really enjoy it. Once it's become part of my routine, I just feel guilty for not going anymore.
Right.
So, and especially right now when there's not a lot going on, it's kind of one of the few things that have kept my sanity, honestly, during this time. Like, and when this shit first hit, I was doing the P90X, and I ended up getting a pair of 20s, and I already had a pair of 15s, got the pull-up bar. And that shit was scarce when this shit first dropped, bro.
Yeah. I'm lucky. All that shit out there, I already had.
You even today, you're gonna have a hard time finding some dumbbells.
Yep.
You know,
people are like, "Where'd you get those?" I'm like, "I've had them."
Yeah. People were buying them all up and selling them on fucking Craigslist.
I saw that.
You know,
ridiculous prices.
Yeah, like fucking $400 for a pair of 25s. And you're like,
yeah, they were charging like $4 or $5 a pound, so, if not more.
Yeah. So like a couple months back, I was like, "Fuck it, dude, I'm going for my own fucking mental health." And I've been going. And luckily, I don't have a 9 to 5, so I can go at like noon when there's only a few people there. And honestly, like I'm not the kind of person that like goes around and says what's up to everybody, but there are a few people that I wave to that, you know. Yeah. And it's those same people that go to the gym every day. Oh yeah. So you can almost say that like those people are in my bubble. Yeah. So, but there have been times, especially when I first started going back, it started getting crowded, and I'd be like, I'm out of here, dude. Yeah. There's too many people in this motherfucker.
Yeah. So. I go through cycles because I was an athlete growing up, but then as I got older, I started smoking a little bit, and that kind of reeled me off. But then I quit smoking for like 5 years, nothing. And I was in great shape again. But then I hurt my back, and I had like gotten to the point where like I had herniated my disc, my L5, so it like sticks out.
I know a lot of people. My brother's got back problems. He's only 25.
It's the worst, dude. I don't sleep sometimes. There's days I don't sleep, and I just stay up and edit videos or like try and keep my mind
brother's
off
the same thing. He was an athlete.
Out.
He was going to go to college for baseball. He actually got scouted and had a full scholarship, and he couldn't play anymore. He had shoulder surgery, and his back still to this day is fucked up. And it sucks to want to do it, and you just can't.
Dude, that's the most frustrating part, is that I'm not supposed to be lifting heavy weights, especially upper. You know,
man, like, don't hurt yourself, bro, because it's gonna catch up to you, man. You're gonna fuck your shoulder up or something, and you're not gonna be able to lift a fork to feed yourself.
The older I get, the less weight I do. It's more about being spot on and stretching and doing that.
Yeah, yoga's good. Cardio's good. Even just going for walks, like low impact on your knees. Because I've noticed as I've gotten older is that this right knee of mine. If I run like 2 miles plus,
better come correct.
I'll be like, "Ooh, dude, I'm like the Tin Man. They gotta fucking oil your boy up."
I'm about to have surgery on my knee.
Really?
Have you heard of Osgood-Schlatter's disease?
No, I can't say that I have.
So it's basically where like the cartilage or like something in your like right where your knee is, kind of below it. It kind of, from running or putting pressure on it from doing sports, it starts to kind of grow out. And you get a little bump.
Like you showed me the bump before.
But my bump. So they sent me this doctor, and I was like, I wanted to go to the doctor that my doctor recommended, but they're like, no, you have to go to this guy first. Yeah. I'm like, why? And they're like, because you might not. They were like 99% of the time people don't need surgery because it's pointless. So there's no point in seeing that doctor unless you
get this dude to clear you
that you need it. So I was thinking at the time, it was really stupid. I went to him. The first thing out of it, I lift up my leg, my pant leg, and he takes like a quick look at it. And he's like, I normally don't recommend surgery, but that's the biggest bump I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I will recommend you for surgery.
Well, good thing you went to this doctor, huh?
Yeah, no, I guess so. So I have to schedule that. I haven't done that yet. Couple more questions, and we'll get out of here. But music wise, have you ever been to Riot Fest, or have you seen those lineups?
I have, and I've unfortunately never.
I know.
Wasn't My Chemical Romance supposed to be playing it?
I don't know.
Before
But I remember
COVID?
one year it was like Brand New and like a bunch
Dude.
of Brand New and Thrice were both playing.
I went
And,
and
I actually had the.
I saw Thrice thanks to you because you dropped out of that show with Alex. Right?
ooh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
I
we
took
ended
your
up
spot.
seeing me and Alex. This is on our way to the Iration tour in February. Thrice did their fucking 10-year anniversary of Fisu, which is my favorite Thrice record.
Mhm.
And we actually left like earlier in the day that day so that we could stop for an hour and watch the show.
That's
Mm.
awesome.
And that was the last concert I've been to before COVID hit. And besides the tour that we went on, you know,
Yeah.
saw some good live streams though.
Yeah.
Hands Like Houses did a good one. Joji did a fucking awesome one. North Lane did a fucking
Mhm.
awesome one, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
It was pre-recorded, but it was fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
And then Architects is doing one in like 2 weeks, and they're premiering 2 new songs. Have you heard the new Architects song, dude? It's so fucking good.
That's
dude.
awesome.
And yeah, dude, new Architects is sick. Some of the new Bring Me Horizon shit is really good. Some of it sounds like fucking Linkin Park.
Nice.
And then the last song on that album they did with Amy Lee, and it sounds like something from Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if I'm a fan, but
Interesting.
you gotta nod to the bands that are fucking still putting out music during this time.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
There's a lot of bands that haven't done fucking anything,
I know. Isn't that weird? I've seen
and
that.
it's like, how do you? I mean, it's nice to have a
Yeah.
break, but like, I'm way past that level of like,
Mhm.
it's nice to have a break. I'm like, let's fucking do something.
Let's go.
You know? So I mean,
Right.
but we've done what 6 live streams now.
A
So
lot. You guys have done a lot.
we've been
Yeah.
trying to fucking do it, man.
So you haven't gotten to go to Riot Fest, but are there any festivals that you have gotten to play that you're like, damn, this is pretty fucking cool, or like bands that you've gotten to share the stage where you're like, I never really thought I would ever share the stage with this band?
I mean, that goes back to that Warped
Warped
Tour
Tour.
shit from that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
was the tour.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember at the beginning of every like in May, we would go to FYE. We'd buy the fucking tickets because you used to be able to. I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to buy the tickets there,
Right.
and they would waive like one of those big fees,
Fees.
because you're buying it right there at the Ticketmaster.
There's like
booth.
$20 fee or something.
Yeah, so
like
you
that.
get a ticket to Warped Tour for like $27, and that still at that time before I had like a job, you know,
Yeah.
like saving up lunch money,
Yeah.
getting $5 and just buying a cookie and a chocolate milk, so I'd have like $3.50 left, and you just pocket
Right.
that shit.
Wait a week and you got like
Yeah.
Like, Dad, I need
$19.
this
Yeah.
much. $20 for
I'm
the
like,
show.
let me get that half-eighth from you, bro. So, yeah, Warped Tour, man, sharing
That's
that
dope.
stage with a bunch of those bands I had mentioned earlier, and I mean, the first time we went on tour with Real Big Fish was a
Super
huge
cool.
one.
Mhm.
I just remember them from basketball,
Right. I was
And,
watching that the other day.
and it was the first time that I'd ever like gone on tour, and somebody from my immediate family that wasn't my brother, that my sister called me, and she goes, "Hey, I'm just calling you because your mom just told me you're on tour with Real Big Fish." I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "I fucking love that band." Like, and my sister's your age, so she's a '90s girl.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
He's the king of ska, man.
And she was
The
like, "I
king of
cannot
ska."
believe that my little brother is on tour with Real Big Fish."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, that makes me feel so cool."
Yeah.
You know. So that was definitely one of those bands, and there was, when I first joined the band, like literally like my 3rd show with the band, we did this thing called the New Jersey Surfskate Festival, which is like a mini Warped Tour. You were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Wes.
Yeah.
And
Circus
What's that?
Survive.
yeah,
and-
I met Anthony Green that day.
Yeah.
Me and Wes. did.
Circus Survive played, which is
Mhm.
all right. We love Circa. Everybody
Yeah.
loves fucking Circa.
Yeah.
But Animals as Leaders played, and this
Mhm.
is when nobody knew who they were, except for your boy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
I knew who.
And
they
at the
were.
end of the
I knew
night,
them.
you remember,
Mhm.
we parked the van right behind their stage, and we walked side stage, and I stood arms crossed, this far from Tosin Abasi,
Mhm.
Tosin, I don't want to mispronounce his name, but watched him play, and their drummer, you know, where the drum set is. They were playing on a small stage, and they only had, it was right when that, what is it? I don't Physical Graffiti is Led Zeppelin. One of their biggest songs What the music
One
video
of the
is
early big ones. Yeah.
the music videos where they're in the gym class playing dodgeball.
Yeah.
They had just put that song out.
Mhm.
It's fucking sick ass song. Don't want to get copyright claimed for that. Humming the melody.
Yeah.
But so that's another time that I can recall that I was like, and I was early on in the Ballyhoo escapade.
Mhm.
So before I was jaded.
When you were still emo, Nick?
Yeah. I had the long disconnected.
Yeah.
It was a good look on you though.
I've had many looks.
And then, I remember seeing the one promo you guys have. You look so young.
And we still use it
So young.
sometimes,
Yeah. I'll see it.
Fucking
So
annoying.
we'll end on like one last note here. You're big into Pokemon. I saw there's a card right now, like a original Charizard or something, going for like $25,000 or something. Crazy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Do you think you have any cards that might be worth something?
All right, so
Or no?
I have a couple
Oh, you do?
from when I was little that still survived. I don't know how, and they're worth some decent
amount. Yeah.
I have a dark Charizard that's worth like 100, and I have a Feraligatr from the Neo Genesis era that's worth like $150 or whatever. But in the past couple of years, I got really back into Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and I started collecting cards again because they put out this set that was called Evolutions, and it was basically a re-release of the original set of Pokemon cards.
Wow.
The ones that we had when we were kids.
Mhm.
They had the Charizard, the one you had mentioned. So that got me back into it. And from then, I've actually gotten a handful of cards that are worth $100, $200 that I've actually pulled myself that kind of made me like relive that whole thing as a kid.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, when we moved to Florida from New York, all my cards got lost in the move. And I think somebody sold them for weed. But, I'm not saying who, but
damn it, weed.
But yeah, I had all of them. I had Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. I had all of the fossil, all of the jungle set. I got all of them. And like you said, there are, I actually just watched this thing. So they were like comparing it to like the Beanie Baby boom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So here's the thing with the Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies fucking came out and they had all this fucking limited edition bullshit, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But Beanie Babies were never nostalgic to anybody.
No.
It was all this fucking big craze that they had, and people were writing books about how they were worth money and this, that, and the other. Whatever.
Not anymore.
But the thing is with Pokemon is comparable to retro gaming. All right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you buy a fucking Super Nintendo, and you're gonna go to the store and you're gonna get the no-name soccer game, the no-name baseball game for 50 cents. But you're gonna pay almost as much as you paid for the console for the Mario games, the ones that people fucking want, the Contra, the Metroid. I mean, Earthbound and Chrono Trigger are worth like $300, and you can get a Super Nintendo for fucking $60.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
All right. There's how many kids do you know that grew up and they never got that Charizard? They never got that Venusaur or that Blastoise or whatever card it was that they wanted. And then people come out and they have the PSA grading, which actually puts the value behind it.
Right.
I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I mean, you can put something on eBay and have it be X amount of money. It doesn't necessarily mean it's worth that much.
Oh, yeah.
But people have paid fucking, 5 digits for Pokemon cards. So that actually puts a value on them.
Yeah.
And I've actually went into the store recently that had like PSA 10s of cards, of common cards, going for a couple $1,000 because it's so very hard to pull a PSA 10.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull a card out of a pack and give it to the PSA guy, and he'll be like 8.5.
Right.
Because it's all a percentage of it comes from not how you handled it, but how it was actually pressed onto the paper, and it was all has to do with the people that made the card.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what and there's only so many in the wild now, because how many of those kids that actually got those cards took care of them, and they exist still today and at a PSA level grading, because it's almost impossible to have a card in a binder, even if it's in a sleeve, for 15, 20 years to then send it in and then get a 10. It's impossible. It's not going to happen.
What stinks is Pokemon came right after I was already in high school, or at least I was a little older. So like I never got into it like other people did, and it sucks. I was older, so I think I was doing Pogs. When
See,
people
I
were still
remember
having
Pogs from when I was
pet
little
rocks.
because of like my older cousin.
Right.
But Pokemon came out in '98. I was fucking
Yeah.
8 years old. I was
that was like perfect.
when they were in a fucking boardroom and they were like, "We got Pokemon. We want to sell them to Nick, 8-year-old Nick.
Yeah.
Like, he's target audience."
Yeah.
And I got fucking Pikachu right here, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's my
Good
shit
one.
to this day. We were just talking earlier. I've been streaming Pokemon on Twitch. I recently there was a DLC for the newest Pokemon game that came out on the Switch. Me and my brother beat the fuck out of it. Like,
Jeez.
I think it was like 20 hours worth of content, and we beat it in a night.
Jesus.
Like, we are hardcore. Since we were kids, you know, Pokemon always has 2 versions. I get the one, he gets the other, and we trade the ones that are exclusive to each one because we got to complete the decks.
Hell yeah.
And it's always been, I mean, video games has always been a way for me to bond with my brother, but Pokemon especially has always been our shit.
It's a classic for sure.
It's the nostalgia. The nostalgia is what's going to make
Makes
you
you
pay
mad.
the money.
The thing that was popular when I was at that age, I guess, was magic cards. And I never
And-
understood how to play. So I think people used to just take my cards, like,
Too nerdy.
and
See,
like trade.
The
Like,
same thing.
I think
but
I got taken advantage
It's more
of.
for older kids. And
Yeah.
but there's cards that are worth money. I
I still have them
the
downstairs.
guy who owns the retro game shop in Florida, where I'm from, the place is called Play and Trade. The guy Ronnie is his name. He got the money to open up the shop by selling magic cards.
Wow.
Yeah, he had like a bunch of like OG the booster boxes that all the packs come in.
Right.
He had like sealed packs of those booster boxes
Wow.
from like the first base set. And as those years go by, like I said, they only make so many of them, so they just go skyrocket in value. And you want to talk about fucking money? There's only so many that exist in the wild, but those sealed booster boxes of base set Pokemon cards go for like $50,000, dude. Like, insane.
I was
But
thinking about just whatever the people
fucking-
nostalgia.
I don't know. But the
people that loved it.
the video that I was talking about was an actual finance guy that was talking about investing in them.
Right. That's
Like,
what I
it's
was
an
thinking.
actual
Just buying
investment.
stuff. Even if I'm not into it, whatever the craze is, just buying a couple of each and just keeping them mint and not even touching them.
Yeah.
And
My
seeing
whole
if
thing
maybe
is
20 years.
like you
it
said, I
might-
mean, there are people like in Logic was in the news talking because he bought like a card for 20 grand,
Jesus.
something like that. But
Must be nice.
Logic has 20 grand to spend on a Pokemon
Right.
card.
Right.
I mean, how many motherfuckers like me, my age, who were target audience in the 90s for that, have fucking 20 grand to pay for that shit?
Yeah.
And how many places have that shit on the shelf that need to sell that to pay for rent for the store that they're running?
Right.
I mean, like, you got to think maybe one of these days that price is going to come down, or who knows. But
One day. Maybe
um,
one day.
I like to hold on to the things that I have. I always consider myself a collector,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. Maybe one of these days, one of those ones that I have will be worth 20 grand, and I'll buy a car with a Pokemon card.
That'd be
Or
dope.
maybe I'll be the fucking stubborn collector, and I'll take it to my grave.
Bury me with it.
Bury me with a damn Charizard.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Dude, it was fun. I had a good time.
It's hard to get people in studio, but when you do, I feel like it's just a
You
good
bought me
vibe,
pizza, bro. I
and-
was there.
Hell yeah.
That's all it takes.
I was surprised. I would have gotten. I was gonna get you something healthy too.
Dude.
Salmon salad. You know, whatever. But dude, yeah, thank you so much for coming, man.
Dude.
It was great to talk to you because I feel like anytime I've either been working for you or we've been doing something where we've been interrupted. So I
No, it
always
was
just
fun,
love
man.
chatting with you, dude. And you're a great person. You're a really good guy. We need to have you back in anytime.
Dude,
So,
anytime.